My best friend stole my boyfriend. So I exposed them. My revenge destroyed them. Best friend's betrayal. She had it coming. What would you do if your best friend, your sister in every way but blood, stabbed you in the back by sleeping with your boyfriend? For me, the betrayal wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning of a revenge so devastating, he never saw it coming. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your whole heart, you'll feel every moment of this story. So hit subscribe, drop a like, and stick around, because justice isn't just served here, it's scorched earth style. Let's dive in. I was in my early 30s, freshly divorced from an abusive husband, when I thought life finally gave me a break. I met him, a man who looked like he stepped out of a romance novel. Tattoos, muscles, protective, gentle, the kind of man you'd expect to find on the cover of a magazine, not sliding into my inbox. He said we went to the same school as kids. I didn't remember him, but he sure remembered me. I looked him up in our old yearbook, and the glow-up was unbelievable. He wasn't just attractive, he was intoxicating. And when he told me he wanted to be with me, after everything I had been through with my ex, I was hooked. Within weeks, we were in a full-blown relationship. And yes, I know it was fast, I know it was reckless, but at the time, it felt like fate. He even moved across the country to live with me. Looking back now, I realize he was just my rebound, but back then, he was perfect. We got a place together, started fixing it up, and then met the neighbors, Bea and Rob. She was 29, he was 32, our age. They lived just 2 doors down. At first, it was magical. 4 young adults, hanging out constantly, sharing meals, trading house keys. Bea became my best friend, practically my sister. We laughed, cried, cooked, and shared life together. Her parents even welcomed me as family. I stood at her wedding, tears streaming down my face as she said, "I do." I thought I had everything: love, friendship, and community. But then, it all shattered. One night, I was on the couch when a thunderous pounding shook our front door. Profanities screamed through the wood. I froze, terrified. My boyfriend peeked out, his face going ghost white. He muttered, "Do not open that door." My heart pounded as I whispered, "Who is it?" He looked sick. "It's Rob." Before I could process, he stripped off his shirt, muttering, "I guess this is happening now. I'm sorry." He opened the door. Rob swung a fist, nailing my boyfriend square in the face, shouting, "How long have you been bleeping my wife?" My stomach dropped. I crumbled to the floor, gasping through tears, "Please, tell me this isn't true." But it was. Behind Rob stood Bea, my best friend. The woman who had a key to my house, who cried on my shoulder, who swore she loved me like family. And she had been sleeping with my boyfriend. I saw red. I warned her, "Don't step into my house." But the audacity of this woman? She stepped forward anyway. My fist flew before I could think. I hit her square in the face. First time I'd ever punched someone. It hurt like hell, but damn, it was worth it. The cops were called. She tried to press charges, but it didn't stick. The fallout? Even worse. They had been hooking up just 2 weeks after we all met. All those nights of family dinners, grocery runs, laughter, they were playing me like a fool. I replayed memories, every red flag I had ignored. Bea crying before her wedding, saying she was a horrible friend. Their creepy big brother, little sister nicknames. The secrets, the phone he always guarded. I felt sick. My relationship over. My friendship gone. My trust in people shattered. But I wasn't done. One night, curiosity and anger got the best of me. He always clutched that phone like it held the universe. So I tested a hunch. His password. The same as our Wi-Fi. Idiot. I logged into his account. What I found? Pure, unfiltered horror. Over 40 women. Yes. 40. He had been juggling them all, dating, sleeping with, even telling multiple women he loved them. 6 were at the "I love you" stage. 2 were expecting rings. 1 was a single mom just 10 minutes away, and he was even hitting on her 18-year-old daughter. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just Bea. It was an entire web of women being conned, lied to, and broken by this man. I read hours of messages, my blood boiling, until an idea clicked. He wanted to play games. Fine. But I was about to end them. I compiled everything. Screenshots, dates, receipts. I built a dossier of his lies. Then I went nuclear. One by one, I messaged every woman. Over 40 strangers who thought they were his one and only. I exposed every disgusting secret. Every I love you he recycled. Every cheating session. I even included the photo he had posted of us, bragging to his uncle that he had found the one he was going to marry. The responses poured in. Shock. Tears. Anger. Sad laughter. Some women even bonded with me. We realized we were all pawns in his sick little game. And the messages he got. Oh, they weren't pretty. Threats, curses, complete destruction of his web of lies. Within hours, he texted me, "What the hell did you do?" I replied with one line. "Karma's a bitch, isn't it?" His world imploded. He had to change his number. Women he had lied to for months, years, were done with him. And his reputation? Shattered. And me? I felt lighter than I had in years. Even funnier. Years later, 5 years, to be exact, he tracked me down and texted, "You're the one that got away." Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The revenge wasn't just satisfying, it was cleansing. He didn't just lose me. He lost his entire harem of lies. Every mask ripped off in one night. The spider's web burned to ash. And for me, the best part wasn't the punch, or even the exposure. It was the moment I realized I wasn't powerless anymore. I was the one pulling the strings. If there's one lesson in all this, it's simple. Betrayal cuts deep, but truth cuts deeper. When someone builds their life on lies, the truth is the sharpest revenge you can serve. So, what do you think? Was this revenge enough, or would you have taken it even further? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder. Karma doesn't miss. Ever. In-laws tried to ruin us. I exposed their darkest secret. What would you do if your dead husband's parents called your daughters bastards, and then lied to an entire church to turn everyone against you? For me, I didn't just sit back. I turned their own faith against them and exposed their darkest secrets in the one place they could never escape. If you've ever been betrayed by family or judged unfairly by hypocrites, this story will feel like sweet justice. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and buckle up, because this revenge isn't just personal, it's biblical. Let's dive in. I never thought widowhood would come with this much drama. I'm 46 now, with 2 teenage daughters, 17 and 15. Last year, my ex-husband died in an accident. Tragic, yes, but the grief was complicated. Because when he died, his double life came out in the ugliest way possible. See, while we were still married, he cheated on me. And not just once. He carried on an affair that resulted in 2 children, 2 little boys. His mistress, their mother, died too. Which meant those children were suddenly orphaned. And instead of shame, instead of regret, his parents, my ex-in-laws, decided to make my daughters pay for it. They wanted custody of my girls. They wanted the affair children to live with us. They wanted to rewrite the narrative so that I, the woman their son betrayed, was the villain. And my girls, their granddaughters, were selfish for refusing to be good big sisters to the love children of their father's affair. The audacity made my blood boil. My daughters had already been through hell. They were the ones who discovered their father's cheating. They were the ones who told me the truth. They were the ones who lost their dad, not just to death, but to betrayal. They were in therapy, trying to heal. And instead of protecting them, my ex-in-laws bullied them. Called them names. Guilt-tripped them. And then one day, things got worse. It was my youngest's birthday. We didn't have the big party yet, so I gave her a budget to spend at the local weekend farmer's market, fresh fruit, sweets, chocolate, whatever she wanted. I wanted her to feel joy again. An hour passed. Then another. I started to worry. Just before I picked up my phone to call her, it rang. Her voice trembled on the other end, breaking through sobs. "Mom, some women cornered me. They're yelling at me. My chest went cold. I grabbed my eldest and we ran. And when I got there, my 15-year-old was surrounded. 6 older women, circling her like vultures, spewing venom. UN Christian girl. How dare you abandon your grandparents? Your poor baby brothers need you. They were berating my daughter for refusing contact with her grandparents and for not embracing the orphans born from my husband's affair. I saw my baby crying. I felt rage, hot, molten, boil in my veins. I stepped between them and her, shielding her with my body. My voice was low, sharp, dangerous. Go with your sister. Pay for your things. Go to the car. Then I turned to those women, recognizing some from my ex-in-law's church. And I let them have it. I called out their hypocrisy, their cruelty, the fact that they were bullying a child on her birthday. My voice shook, not with fear, but with fury. They spat back scripture, telling me I was a bad Christian wife for not obeying my in-laws. Barf. The shouting grew so loud the market manager asked us all to leave. And as I walked away with my daughters, those women followed me to the car, still flapping their sanctimonious mouths. I drove away shaking, trying to stay calm for my girls. But that night, when they were asleep, I logged onto Facebook. That's when I found it. My ex-mother-in-law had posted in the church's group. A massive sob story. According to her, my daughters and I were cruel, heartless, abandoning her and her husband. She said we were leaving them homeless and penniless even though they inherited my ex's bank account and life insurance. She painted us as monsters who refused to care for the surrogate babies who were born because I couldn't have more children. Yes. She lied. She claimed my husband's affair partner was actually a surrogate. That those children were planned. That I was the selfish woman who rejected them because they were boys. It was disgusting. And the church? They ate it up. Support poured in. Sympathy, praise, prayers. I wanted to scream. I wanted to burn the lies to ash. And then, it hit me. This church had one weakness. They were strict, very strict, about cheating. No tolerance. Husband or wife, it didn't matter. Infidelity was an unforgivable sin in their eyes. And I had the receipts. Because when my husband died, we were mid-divorce. I had collected everything, photos, texts, emails. Evidence of his cheating. Proof his parents knew. Messages where his parents bullied my daughters after his death, calling them bastards and even blaming them for causing his death by revealing the affair. I remembered one message in particular. Just 2 days after his funeral, they told my girls it was their fault their father was gone. My hands shook as I scrolled through the files. And then I smiled. The next morning, I drove to a print shop. I paid extra for high-quality glossy prints. Pictures of my husband making out with his mistress in our living room. Screenshots of his texts. Emails from his parents supporting his cheating. Their cruel messages to my daughters. All of it. Then I went home and got to work. I didn't just want to expose them. I wanted it to sting. So I made binders. Not just any binders, beautiful, polished ones that looked exactly like the hymn packets the church used for Sunday service. On the cover, innocent. But open it up, and the very first page? A full-color photo of my husband and his mistress locked in a kiss. Underneath, I titled it, Ex-husband's name, and, mistress name, a love story. Page after page of evidence. Their lies, their cruelty, their hypocrisy. And on Sunday, I slipped those binders onto the back desk with the rest of the hymn books. The fallout was immediate. The gossip mill churned faster than fire in dry grass. The church's Facebook group exploded. The names my husband and his mistress were called. I can't repeat them here. They were brutal. The pastor had to step in to calm people down. Even he couldn't spin this one. My ex-in-laws. Shamed. Humiliated. Exposed for bullying their granddaughters, for supporting their son's infidelity, for lying to their congregation. And me. Suddenly I wasn't the villain anymore. Sure, they still tut-tutted about my divorce, but even the judgmental ones excused it. Some even wrote apology letters to my girls. We got invited back to church for support. But my ex-in-laws, they couldn't show their faces again. They left the church in disgrace. And my mother-in-law's last desperate Facebook post? A pathetic cry about how the elderly are abandoned, how no one cares for her, how she misses her great son who would have taken care of her. With what money? I don't know, since I was the breadwinner. That was the day the power shifted. They thought they could bully me, shame my daughters, weaponize religion against us. Instead, I used their own rules, their own sacred values, to destroy the lies they built. My girls saw it. They saw that they weren't powerless. That justice, sometimes, comes wrapped in hymn binders and glossy photos. And my in-laws. Their reputation, their precious standing in the church, gone in one Sunday service. Some betrayals cut deep. But when liars hide behind faith, truth is the sharpest weapon you can wield. My daughters learned that sometimes, revenge isn't just payback, it's protection. What do you think? Was slipping the truth into those hymn binders the ultimate revenge, or would you have gone even further? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder. When hypocrites play holy, the truth will always find them.